Spend It Like Madonna and Guy, we reveal the extraordinary lifestyle of the world's biggest spending celebrity couple and reveal what it's like to sit on a £250 million fortune. We find out what happens when Madonna brings home the bacon.
Shut up, Madge. Just put the shopping away.
Guy shows the missus how to act like a lady. And we talk to the balmy shopkeeper who turned down Madonna's gold card.
Everywhere we go worldwide, we present ourselves. It's like, are you the shop that turned out Madonna?
Pop star Madonna and film director Guy Ritchie are top of the hit list when it comes to high-spending celebrity couples.
Madonna has got so much money that if she sees something and wants it, she can have it.
This is a woman who is a cash machine.
She's got tons and tons of money in the bank. She can have whatever she wants.
According to the latest Rich list, she's the highest-earning woman in Britain in a year. Chart rival Posh Spice pulled in £600,000 in 12 months, while Her Majesty, the Queen of Pop, raked in £30 million. Even the real Queen only managed £15 million. Blimey! In 1998, she hooked up with Ritchie, whose first feature film, Lock, Stock, had catapulted him into the Hollywood limelight.
He's had a good film released. Oh, Guy Ritchie. Get me his head on a platter.
Now she's married to a British guy. People are just fascinated.
You want to know what brands they're buying, what they're wearing, where they're hanging out, and what they're spending their money on.
Madonna and Guy have spent millions on luxury private jets, designer clothes, wild parties, lavish jewellery, as well as £2 million on their star-studded wedding and £19 million on hot property. In fact, over the last 2 years, the Richies have spent more on property than the total amount Posh and Becks have earned in the same time. Eat my gold. When you're as rich as the Richies, you can do what you want, when you want. In September 2000, Madonna and Guy hosted a party for Madonna's new album, Music. But this was no ordinary party. Such is Madonna's status in the music biz, she ordered her record company to fork out $2 million for just one night out. That wasn't all. The venue was a dodgy little club on the wrong side of town called Jules Catch One.
Well, we are sitting in Catch One, which is an old haunt of Madonna's. She used to hang out here in the late 80s when she was just really becoming Madonna, this superstar.
It was a very hip, gay, black club, and not many people from the Beverly Hills area went there.
I loved it because people from everywhere will follow wherever Madonna's partying.
It's a fat club and it's a fat neighborhood.
Hey, Madonna's going across town to Catch One. We should all go down there. And I admit, I fell for it. I hauled my butt down here with the rest of my friends, and we all danced looking for Madonna over our shoulder the whole time. Like, yeah, no Madonna here, no Madonna here, no Madonna here.
Review Madonna.
In return for all the great time she'd had in this downtown joint, Madonna offered to revamp the entire club.
When Madonna's folks arrived with the desire and the wish and also the money to do it, then this was a godsend for me.
It's not going to be Madonna doing it on the cheap. It's going to be Madonna, and it's a party.
With $2 million in her back pocket, Madonna appointed a team of top designers who spent 3 months transforming Jules Catch One into a scene from her pop video, Music.
This is the main dance floor. They put up these hubcaps. The stage was lit up. They brought in a very fancy DJ booth.
News of Madonna's party quickly spread to the posher parts of town, and the area was brought to a standstill as 600 star guests arrived in a mood to partay.
We can already feel the walls throbbing, so I think it's going to be a good party.
There were some party people, very flamboyant people, drag queens, fetish stars. There were girls and guys dancing on these poles, and then the people were out on the floor dancing, obviously, and having a really, really great time.
I'm loving it.
You've been here before, haven't you? Yeah.
Oh yeah, many times, but I haven't been here in several years.
Thanks to Madonna, this pokey little discotheque now looked like $1 million. Well, $2 million to be exact. Cheers, Madge! This mega-rich twosome are worth an absolute fortune, but who's the real breadwinner? Guy's income from his 2 hit films Snatch and Lock, Stock have scored him a stunning 10 million big ones. That's enough to provide a digital camcorder for every family in Guy's hometown of Hatfield. Hello, Mum! But compared to his missus, peanuts.
Madonna's the really big earner out of the two of them. Not only does she get money every time she makes a new record and sells it, not only does she get money every time she goes on tour and everything, but every record she's ever made, she's still earning money from.
With over 200 million records sold worldwide, Madonna has scooped £150 million. You can add on another 30 million for all her tours. And she's just bagged a reported 16 million from Microsoft for the use of her single Ray of Light. Her total fortune is now estimated to be £250 million. So does poor Guy feel slightly inadequate?
I don't know.
I think it's a surprising thing. Madonna's always had such a strong-willed personality. She was herself and nobody better mess with her. And all of a sudden, she's really getting a little soft and squishy for Guy Ritchie.
And when Guy Ritchie wants to keep her in a place, he calls the material girl Madge.
I heard a story about Madonna going up to the local corner shop near their house and coming back covered, rain-soaked with sort of bags full of rather cheap vegetables and bread, and her saying, "Guy, yeah, that shop's a lot further than you said it was." And he said, "Shut up, Madge, just put the shopping away."
That nickname says it all. I think we all know that Madge is just the average housewife, and he's trying to keep her in her place by calling her that.
It probably is the fact that he is a very strong personality that allows her to perhaps let go of control sometimes and take a back seat.
To the rest of the world, you walk out of those baronial gates, and somehow you're Madonna. But at home, you're just Madge.
For 20 years, Madonna has been at the forefront of fashion, setting trends at every turn.
Strike a pose.
But since Madonna met Guy, her taste has become somewhat restrained.
Guy said, he doesn't want her showing off her raspberries anymore. And I think that's really shown, she's really sort of taken heed of the fact that she's a married woman now and that she should dress a little bit more seriously.
He wants to keep a little bit of Madonna away from the rest of the world.
She used to show her stomach, show everything else that she could possibly show, as much as possible. But since she's been with Guy Ritchie, she has changed.
But this new image doesn't come cheap, as Madonna showed when the couple attended the Evening Standard Awards in 1999.
It's one of the first outings that she went on with Guy in the public eye, so I think she really wanted to look great.
She went out wearing a beautiful pink coat, very opulent, very glamorous, and she looked incredible.
She had this Versace coat, £2,500. She also had a very nice Fendi baguette handbag. They were the handbag to have at £500–600. The trousers were £3,600.
Add to that her Cartier watch, £2.5 grand, and the total cost of Madonna's outfit was £9,250. And designers just love to get their creations on Madonna.
Getting a dress on Madonna has got to be a fashion orgasm. Because frankly, there's no better advertisement. That woman is fashion gold.
The girls love to see what she looks like. Madonna goes out shopping looking great, she goes out to dinner looking great, everybody wants to know what she's wearing.
Madonna is an icon for just about every woman. I mean, women in the street, but also for every single female star.
After Madonna was pictured in this £4.5 grand Versace leather coat, then so was Melanie Griffiths, and Cindy Crawford, and Dido. Come on, girls, be original.
She's one of the only celebrities out there who truly has the power to do that, to wear something, look so incredible and so cutting edge that designers will follow suit.
It's no surprise that she sent the latest gear straight from the catwalk.
I remember her receiving huge boxes, just the quantity. She would sometimes hand it out to her friends. There was just too much, more than she could ever wear.
But not every designer has been so in awe of Madonna. Trendy London boutique Voyage once operated an elitist members-only scheme.
My parents had an idea of turning the shop to the equivalent of Studio 54, the nightclub in New York, by introducing a membership card to all of our clients. So it was really great, but it made a huge controversy for all the people that couldn't come in. And at the beginning, we really had fun by telling people, okay, this person can't come in, this person can come in.
This even included turning away the most famous face in pop.
It's not because they didn't recognise her, because she's very well recognised. It's just because it was her and they just knew that it would be all over the papers. And they even used it on their fashion shows.
Good afternoon. Do you have your prestige card?
Are you kidding me? I'm Madonna!
Sorry. Men preserve names.
Your name's not down, you're not coming in.
He made out such a big deal out of it that actually everywhere we go worldwide, we present ourselves. It's like, are you the shop that turned out Madonna?
So if you want your shop to get known worldwide, tell Madge her name's not down.
Your name's not down, you're not coming in.
But Guy's never had any problems getting into exclusive fashion outlets. When the couple were photographed at this art exhibition, he wore an Alfred Dunhill bespoke suit, £1,945, shirt and tie, 150 quid, and Oliver Sweeney's shoes at 199. The total for his dapper outfit, 2,294. Suit you, sir.
Guy Ritchie is a very, very cool man. He wears clothes very, very well. And he does carry off that kind of tough chic. He's saying that I'm good looking.
But in recent times, their love of fashion from the catwalk has taken a bit of a turn for something more suited to the dog walk. Our all-conquering, world-famous, big-spending couple can now be seen dressed in his and hers tracksuits.
They've got about 15 or 16 tracksuits between them. She just lives in these Adidas shell suits. He's now got Juicy Couture tracksuits. He even turned up on the red carpet in a black Juicy Couture velour tracksuit.
So he combines them with brogues and a flat cap. Now, I don't know what Madonna's been saying to him, but he must be incredibly henpecked.
It's just not in character for him. I think he is being influenced. Maybe he doesn't even realize it. Maybe she goes out and buys him these clothes and he just wears them to be nice.
I mean, he just looks totally ridiculous. I don't think he looked in the mirror ever.
I don't want to see him in those track suits.
It may work in LA where anything goes, but not in London.
The back of the Daily Telegraph supplement of the weekend is always the his and hers velour tracksuit, fireproof, with a 10-year guarantee. That's where they've got it.
Maybe the Ritchies' taste in leisure wear is their way of saying, look at us, we're normal. Yeah, right. Well, at least it's cheaper than Gucci and Prada.
OK, Guy, you ready to pop round to the shops?
Hold on, darling. There's a load of paparazzi outside.
Oh, really? We better get changed.
Can I wear the velvet one again? You sure I look okay in this?
Shut up, Guy. You look just great.
Coming up in part 2, find out why Madonna spent $90,000 to cross the Atlantic.
It's a long way to go, isn't it? Just for a bit of the old.
And see how Madonna really made her millions.
Look, 50p off potato chips.
When you live your life at 35,000 feet,
we aim to make your flight as pleasant as possible.
The cabin pressure can get to you.
I say we hit the town and get completely wankered.
I'm sure you've explained the 10-hour alcohol consumption rule.
Join the crew members of Fresh Air for some attitude and altitude.
There's a chance of some turbulence later on.
Did you have your dick in my face? You had yours in mine.
Taking care of you will be my pleasure.
All new Mile High starts tonight at 10, Sky on Sunday.
Why are we doing this? This is silly.
Coffee? No.
Oh, now what?
Where are we?
I'm in a tent with my insane boyfriend.
Stir your senses with the fresh taste and rich aroma of Nescafe Gold Blend, the coffee lover's coffee.
Okay, I'm on safari with some gorgeous bloke. He made me a cup of Gold Blend in the back of his Land Rover.
A year ago.
Today.
Happy anniversary.
When colour looks this rich, you want to know why. Discover Garnier Nutrice, the first permanent colour to nourish your hair with fruit oil. Nutrice is so rich, it makes reds more intense. And blondes, more stunning. With Nutrice, coppers are glorious, irresistible, beautiful colour, and not a grey hair in sight. Garnier Nutrice, unbelievably rich colour. Garnier.
Felix, you're not helping. I know. Oh, Felix.
Because they
They get a delicious and different helping every time. Cats like Felix find Felix pouches irresistible.
Excuse me, I'm back. I've only been 5 minutes. Please don't put that on my car.
I'm sorry, sir, but you'll have to move your car.
I've only been 2 minutes.
There's nothing I can do about it now.
Oh, you can if you want. Oh, I've only had it 2 weeks.
I've issued the ticket. It's in the system, sir.
I think you just like winding people up. It just makes me sick. It really does.
It's no fun when you can't sleep. Time seems to stand still. You just can't switch off. And it feels like you're the only one. But you don't have to put up with it. Nitol can help you drift off into a natural sleep. So you wake up refreshed in the morning. Good mornings follow a good Nitol.
What we're going to do, right, we're going to get the liquidizer. We've got some beautiful vine-ripened tomatoes. Now, hairy bits from some coconuts. Get some little eyes from the spud. Pinch of salt, buzz it. Now, if you don't want to make them fresh, buy them at Sainsbury's. They're much better looking in real life.
The Tuesday premiere.
Don't forget to turn them on the headlights.
He's like Mr. Perfect.
He probably only dates promiscuous women? No, models.
You're not like most of the women I see at these parties.
Who's that? It's another woman.
You're calling him?
Yeah, I want to make sure he didn't hurt himself while he was killing the blonde.
So sweet.
It's just me. That's some psycho killer.
Head Over Heels, Tuesday at 9:45 on Sky Movies Premiere.
In Spend It Like Madonna and Guy, we take a peek at the multi-million-pound lifestyle of this mega-rich celebrity couple. When you're as rich as the Ritchies, you can kiss goodbye to economy class. What a shame. Madonna and Guy think nothing of jumping into a $33 million jet to take them, well, anywhere they fancy. The jet is owned by an Irish businessman who frequently loans it out to the Ritchies. They've been everywhere from the Scottish Highlands to New York in this swanky little runaround. Spend It Like will give an exclusive access to the very jet used by Madonna and Guy. Chocks away!
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
The aircraft we're in today is a Gulfstream 4 SP, which is one of the latest Gulfstreams that you can buy. It's got a range of just over 8 hours and will take you pretty much anywhere you want to go, whenever you want to go. This Gulfstream 4 is fully equipped with all the communications and entertainment systems you would want of an aircraft that's going to do an 8-hour trip or more. As you can see, DVD, stereo, video, it's all there, and a complete library of DVDs for your own pleasure.
Have you got Swept Away? That went straight to video.
If you wish to charter a machine of this type, it would cost you in the region of $5,900 to $6,200 per hour. A round trip to New York would probably cost you in the region of $90,000.
We'll just try to start.
All of the seats are berthable, so you can actually sleep 6 people in them. And the seats are all fully movable, and they recline to give you probably the most relaxing flight you'll ever have.
It is perfect for a flying honeymoon.
It enables them to travel around the world with total security, confidentiality, anonymity, and just basically makes their life very, very easy compared with scheduled airlines.
And there's no queuing for baggage for these two. So how did the world's most successful female artist get together with Britain's hottest film director? Well, it wasn't over a bacon sarnie down at the local cafe. The flame was lit at a dinner party held at the £7 million country retreat of Sting and his missus, Trudy Styler.
Sting's wife, Trudy, told her a lot about Guy before they met, and Madonna was more than a little fascinated. Trudy did the same thing across the ocean with Guy Ritchie. And I think they were both fascinated with each other before they ever met at that dinner party, where Trudy kind of set them up.
So if it all goes pear-shaped, Trudy, you got some answering to do.
Madonna was definitely after a British man, I believe. She was spending more time here. She thinks she liked the idea of someone else creative, someone very British, somebody who would stand up to her, I think.
Madonna had fallen head over heels in love, but Mr. Cool was playing hard to get.
I think the attraction to him was that he didn't sort of fall under her spell immediately.
Now, this is a woman who has gone after everything she wanted in her life, and she got them, like possessions. So what makes you think that if she saw something in Guy she liked, she didn't go after it to get it?
And she will do anything in her power to make sure that she gets her man.
She even jetted from New York to London and back in a day for a quick knee trembler.
It's a long way to go, isn't it? Just for a bit of the old.
She was in New York and, Guy phoned her up and she just flew over the Atlantic to spend one night in a hotel with him.
I think she stayed in Claridge's, probably cost about £2,000.
How romantic is that? And if you've got the money, why not do it?
She's a rampant little minx, isn't she?
Knowing Madonna, that one evening of transatlantic passion could have cost over £52,000. That's enough to take everyone from the town of Skegness for a wacky week at Butlins. Hey, love! To make sure she got her man, Madonna upped sticks from her beloved New York and moved over to England, lock, stock and barrel. Then came yet another of her world-famous reinventions. The Queen of Pop was about to be reborn as Lady Madonna.
Right now it's a novelty and she's really getting a huge kick out of it, so she's really turning British right before our eyes.
Lady Madonna, children at your feet, wonder how you manage to make ends meet.
Suddenly Madonna's coming and she's like, right, I want to go shooting pheasants and wear tweed, and she's off out with her shotgun up to the country.
Celebrity is something that Madonna must not value very much anymore. She's been around it for, 15 years now, 20 years? It's not going to be this big new glitzy thing for her. The big new glitzy thing is precisely this, the Englishness, the aristocracy.
Aristocrat idol. She's auditioning to be a member of the ruling classes.
While Madonna has been shimmying away up the social tree, Guy has worked hard to shed his posh background.
The irony is that Guy Ritchie has spent so many years of his adult life trying to pass himself off as a Cockney lad, whereas in fact his own background is strictly upper middle class.
You see Guy on a Friday night, down in the loop. Hello fellas, hello chaps, how are you? Fine, fine. And then on a Saturday it's like, all right lads, yeah, Vinny son, what I want you to do, right?
Guy Ritchie's starting up here, he's posh up here, okay, if you can see that. And he's sort of headed down socially, purposely, to build some street cred. Whereas Madonna, on the other hand, has started down here, where Guy wants to head. And she's sort of headed up the social scale towards, Guy's former home, the aristocratic world. And so they've met in the middle.
So how easy has it been for Madonna and Guy to become Lord and Lady of the Manor? And how much has it cost? Step 1. Buy a large gaff in the country. The Ritchies splurged £9 million on a massive stately home in Wiltshire. That includes a back garden of around 1,200 acres. Step 2. Get in with the neighbours. Luckily for Madge and Guy, they're best mates with Mr. and Mrs. Sting, who live just down the road. Step 3. Get the country look. And this is where Madge really excels. Fashion. And there's only one place to shop when you want to look like a true country lady. Holland and Holland have been kitting out the royal family since Queen Victoria was a toddler. At Spend It Like, we put on our best posh accent to find out how much it costs our Madonna to keep up with the Windsors. What ho!
What we have here, of course, is ladies' tailoring. You can see here the tweed, beautifully designed. I mean, the finishing is just superb. And of course, this can be used for country lifestyle and even as a little riding jacket. These shooting stockings are all knitted by about 75 old ladies all around England. They're all hand knitted. And it takes a considerable amount of time to get a pair of these done. And they're normally in red or canary yellow or sort of vibrant colors just to give that twist of fun with English humour within the shooting world.
125 quid for socks?
As you will see here with a practical shooting glove, it has a little slit there which we call the trigger finger. And when actually shooting, that can be pulled back and the finger has no problem in pulling the trigger with any interference from the leather end of it.
Once you've got the tweed look, you're almost there. Just one last step. Get yourself a shotgun. Don't worry, they've got a licence.
The emphasis is on pure craftsmanship and the integrity of the construction process. That is an over and under configuration. This is a typical sporting gun, and we in fact start with just bars of steel for the barrels and blocks of wood for the stock. The gun next to it is its mate, its pair.
For this matching pair of his and her shotguns, you're looking at 196 grand. In their attempts to become members of the upper crust, Madonna and Guy have spent around £10 million. But even this amount of money doesn't guarantee a good night's kip. Madonna and Guy had noisy neighbours, buzzing planes from a nearby airstrip. So instead of pulling the pillow over their ears, they reached for the chequebook and tried to buy the whole airport, valued at £800,000.
Even that was beyond Madonna because, you know, this was a working aerodrome where people's jobs would be lost, and even she didn't want to be responsible for that.
Then another disaster. The new Countryside Act gave ramblers the right to walk across their land and get within 100 yards of their £9 million stately home.
She went absolutely nuts, and apparently Guy had to really calm her down and say, well, this is British countryside, this is the way it is. They even wrote to the Prime Minister to see if he could do anything, but of course they can't. So they're stuck with a fantastic house, but, you know, everyone's sort of gawking over the back fence.
So they forked out for extra security. Well, it was that or bringing Guy's best mate.
Vinny, get him in your sights, Medge, then gently squeeze the trigger. She's pretty handy, Vinny.
This is great. Now what do we do?
You strap him to the Jeep.
These English sports are just great.
One little lady following in her mother's footsteps is Lourdes.
Lourdes is probably one of the most spoilt little celebrity children around. She has her own mini-me outfits made, so her and mummy can look exactly the same.
Madonna has spent 36 grand on designer gear for little Lourdes.
If she wants to dress her daughter in little mini versions of herself, God love her. Every mother lavishes on their child that sense of, it's a little me, it's in my shadow. You know, what's she gonna put her in? Baby Gap?
Madonna wants to encourage Lourdes' love of fashion and design, so she lets Lourdes design her own clothes already.
Now that Lourdes is coming of an age where she understands mommy's fashions and girly things around her, that Madonna wouldn't lavish on her all of the little perks that come with being a superstar's child.
This even includes getting in on the Ritchie's favourite look with her own mini-me tracksuit. Despite spending thousands on her daughter, she isn't so generous when it comes to everyone else.
She's one of these people who, when she's on tour, she'll go through the hotel bills to check that the phone calls are right. She'll haggle with hotels. She once berated her butler when she was living in Notting Hill because he'd spent something like £600 on flowers.
The full extent of Madonna's penny pinching came to light after she sacked the very same butler.
He actually came out with a few home truths about what goes on in Madonna's household. Apparently not only does she make her housekeeper use coupons, she also refuses to let her staff make long-distance phone calls and will run around the house switching all the lights off just to save a few extra pence on electricity.
If the rules are you cut the coupons out to pay for your soap powder, that's what happens, and woe betide anybody who should cross that line.
It's called coupon cutting to the people that do it. Coupon cutting is an art. To find the right coupon to get 10p off or anything, good on Madonna, she's saving herself a few bob.
Here, darling, what are you doing with those scissors?
Have you seen the special offers you get in these things?
But Madge, darling, we're minted.
It never hurts to save a little extra. Look, 50p off potato chips.
So why does someone who's worth more than £200 million worry about switching off the lights and saving coupons?
She had a rough old time in New York for a few years, living on people's floors, bumming meals. So she lived a tough early life, certainly in New York, when she was determined to go it alone.
When you come from a background where you haven't had a lot and you've made a lot, you always remember what it was like not having a lot.
You don't automatically make money and then forget everything you've worked for.
One item Madonna doesn't scrimp on is jewellery. We tracked down her favourite designer, Stephen Webster, who knows firsthand the effect that Madonna can have on business.
Certain magazines will be so on the ball, you know, that you're getting a phone call. It's like, oh, we saw this picture of Madonna last night. She was at the MTV Awards. That was one of your rings, wasn't it? You know, so someone like her, it's amazing, you know, and I think she's probably very aware of what she can do for a brand.
Madonna was photographed wearing Stephen's Crystal Haze ring, costing £3,500. Since the publicity on Madonna, the Webster team has been working flat out to meet new demand, often from other celebs.
This just happens to be finished today. Obviously it's a very gothic looking piece, which happens to be extremely fashionable at the moment. This is for a very specific client.
Yes, rock star Ozzy Osbourne also shops here.
He hasn't seen this one yet, and I'm reckoning he's going to like this one.
Like it? It looks great. When Madonna and Guy decided to tie the knot, Webster got a call asking him to secretly design a wedding ring for Guy.
Madonna came to us first to commission a ring for Guy, which, you know, she had a very strong opinion about what it was going to be like, and, you know, that it was going to be right for him.
Then he took another call. This time, it was Guy.
Out of the blue, we get a phone call that Guy's going to come round because he needs to get a ring, you know. So it was both of them did it independently. He didn't know about his ring being done, which is kind of cool. We did, and he didn't.
Stephen designed the Ritchies, a pair of platinum bands costing an estimated £50,000. And the rings were just the start of the spending when it came to the big day.
I wouldn't be surprised if that wedding was well into 7, maybe 8 figures, which seems absolutely outrageous. But this is a woman who is a cash machine. Why should she scrimp on the biggest day of her life?
The couple decided to flee the media glare of London and LA and escape to Scotland and the beautiful village of Donnoch.
I never thought I'd miss you.
The locals were in for a double treat as Madonna and Guy combined the wedding with the christening of little Rocco. The couple arrived in Scotland in their usual style, Gulfstream jet, serenaded by a local bagpiper playing Like a Virgin. Surrounded by security, they sped off to the sanctuary of Skibo Castle.
As soon as I wake up every night.
This exclusive venue on the banks of Dornoch Firth charges £3,000 a year for membership, and it's £580 for one night. Madonna and Guy hide out the entire castle for a reported £150,000. First up was the christening, which took place at Dornoch Cathedral, and little Rocco was donned head to toe in Versace. £10,000, thank you very much. A bunch of A-list celebrities rolled up, including matchmaker Trudy Styler and Rocco's godfather, Sting. But there was one uninvited visitor. Robert Podesta hid within the cathedral organ for 3 days to capture the event on camera.
What happens next, Guy?
I think Sting's going to sing a little song. No, please. Anything but this. I can't take anymore. I'll give myself up. Here, take the camera.
Podesta was fined £1,000 and the tape destroyed. Unperturbed, the couple appeared for a photo opportunity.
Nothing more, nothing less.
And then left to put the final touches to their big day. The wedding was to be an incredibly lavish affair. The wedding feast alone cost $250,000. The drinks bill, $200,000, which included 1,104 bottles of champagne. Madonna wore a £50,000 wedding suit designed by her friend Stella McCartney, as well as a £170,000 platinum tiara. While Guy didn't hold back, spending a reported £40,000 on this Macintosh kilt. In total, the wedding cost in excess of £2 million. For the same sum, Guy could have made lock stock twice over and still have change. But there was one thing missing, a big money glossy magazine deal.
Well, I remember the wedding being not in OK and Hello magazine. So for me, it wasn't a wedding. It didn't happen. Unless there is a 27-page full-colour spread, they don't really love each other.
She spent a fortune to keep people away from that wedding, probably as much as the wedding almost, because she had to have so many people with walkie-talkies everywhere.
In fact, no press at all were allowed inside. Madonna wanted to avoid the disaster of her wedding to Sean Penn in 1985.
She had an outdoor ceremony on a cliff, and the vicar couldn't even hear the vows because of the noise of helicopters.
Penn penned a personal message to all the paparazzi hovering above.
Perhaps she's experienced the real bad side of celebrity and wanted to do something differently this time.
But the press was still determined to grab a priceless picky of the happy couple's big day.
I heard extraordinary stories of lengths that freelance photographers were actually going to, bury themselves in the undergrowth.
And I think they all got sort of sniffed out by sniffer dogs at the last minute.
I think every magazine tried to pay off all the people that were at the wedding.
But each guest was made to sign a 4-page confidentiality agreement.
They were sworn to secrecy. If they ever wanted to see Madonna again, they'd better not talk.
If Madonna and Guy Ritchie are going to employ a security firm to make sure nobody gets a picture of their wedding, you can bet your bottom dollar nobody's going to get one.
To this day, no one has seen a picture of her in her wedding dress.
But what would just one picture be worth?
If anybody had have got wedding pictures of Madonna and Guy's wedding, they would have actually been worth a small fortune.
It would have made a front page cover around the world. So it was $1 million picture.
Basically, just name your price and we would have bought it.
Coming up in part 3, what it costs to be neighbourly with the Ritchies stateside.
Come inside, let me show you what $5 to $6 million can buy you.
And see what happened when Madonna called in the builders.
We're not all like Madonna, work, work, work.
On the pitch, we worship them.
Ferdinand! Sheringham! Freddie Ljungberg!
Off the pitch, we know little about them.
Maybe I might get married, maybe I won't.
Rio, Teddy, Freddie. We get intimate with 3 gods of the game, on and off the pitch.
Maybe we fall off one day.
The all-new documentary series.
I don't do this every day, This is a one-off.
Starts with Rio Ferdinand, close-up, 9 o'clock next, Sky One Sunday.
What we're going to do, right? We're going to get the liquidizer. We've got some beautiful vine-ripened tomatoes. Now, hairy bits from some coconuts. Get some little eyes from the spud. Pinch of salt, buzz it. Now, if you don't want to make them fresh, buy them at Sainsbury's. They're much better looking in real life.
You sat on them, you can pay for them.
Yeah, right.
You could have got a spare pair free if you'd gone to Specsavers.
Persil aloe vera. Created for delicate skin. A drop of nature, awash with kindness.
Buy the special packs of Persil to help raise money for comic relief.
the new fragrance from Lynx.
Comfort introduces a totally new fabric conditioner. Comfort Form.
Shaken, not stretched.
A poor life this, if full of care. We have no time to stand and stare.
Centre Parks. For a brochure, call 08705 200 222. He talks to you in a language only you understand. The language of GoCat Vitality Plus. A blend of nutrients that goes beyond health to a lively attitude. GoCat Vitality Plus, a language you both understand.
Own Pride Pasta Bake. Minimum action, maximum taste.
They don't have fur of their own, so they're free to use mine. In fact, I enjoy it.
They're a good boy.
Most of the time, anyway. I know. Right. If you want to pet something, pet this.
Andrex is Andrex Soft and Andrex Thick.
Result.
Andrex, looking out for the family.
To celebrate Vauxhall's 100th birthday, we're launching 2 new special editions with up to £1,000 of free equipment. And a great new finance offer. The new special edition Astra Active and Corsa Active. A great deal to celebrate.
It's a clash of the promotion favourites.
That is brilliant! It is surely going to be their year.
But who will go up as champions? Nationwide football, Leicester Portsmouth tomorrow at 7 live on Sky Sports 1.
They hate Halloween.
You gotta be wondering, am I gonna get a trick or a treat? You'll be nervous all day about it. Wasn't it? Fun though.
Need some sugar over here?
Someone running around in a gorilla suit? What you look like? Gorilla? No, it's not me.
I'm working hard on a cure.
All new Scrubs, Thursday, 10 o'clock, Sky 1.
All new high-flying drama Mile High as it turned after more retail with Ritchie's.
In Spend It Like Madonna and Guy, we've seen the expensive jewellery, their country mansion and their A-list showbiz lifestyle. But what gifts do Britain's richest celebrity couple buy for each other? In their Christmas stockings last year were these state-of-the-art mobile phones, priced at a mere 15 grand each. Is that you, Madge?
It works anywhere in the world, but the best thing about it, it's like a butler or a concierge at the end of the phone. So you can arrive, I don't know, Rio de Janeiro, and they will say, right, we've booked you into this top-class hotel, you've got the suite, there's a limo waiting for you. Someone's at the end of the line sorting out your life for you wherever you are in the world. And there was a great story about Madonna buying 20 of these for her friends for Christmas presents.
First on Madonna's new speed dial is fashion designer Donatella Versace. When she decided to host a New Year's Eve party, Madonna and Guy were the top of her list. But it wasn't to be the celebration they'd expected.
Donatella had a little soiree down in Miami. Now, if you've ever seen that Versace mansion, it's unbelievable. So, of course, Madonna's gonna be there.
Also at the party was J-Lo, who'd recently slagged off Madonna and her best mate Gwyneth Paltrow in the press.
The great thing about J-Lo is that she's not afraid to criticise other stars. So not only has she sort of, put the boot in with Madonna, but she'd actually turned around and said that Gwyneth, God help us, is famous by association.
Madonna hadn't even reached the buffet bar when she spotted J-Lo.
Madonna just said dinner's over and walked straight out of the room when J-Lo walked in. They can't stand each other.
It's your usual Hollywood catfight.
Madonna and Guy left, having only been there for 1 hour.
Madonna had the wherewithal to get on a jet and leave Miami and go all the way back home to London that very same night just because she didn't like being there anymore.
We reckon that with jet hire, limousines and brand new outfits, the total cost of that 1 hour in Miami was £77,000. That's enough to cover flights and hotels for 110 couples for 2 whole weeks in Florida. One of Madonna's favourite ways to spend her money is on art.
Madonna's a great fan of collecting art, particularly modern art. She's got strong interest in several photographers and artists, and I think that's always been a passion of hers. It's very difficult to know with her art because she's so private about it, but I would think probably between 50 and 80 million in art.
Madonna has really kind of come out, as it were, as an art collector, and with particular focus on the work of Frida Kahlo, the Mexican artist. And there's one particularly grisly Frida Kahlo called My Birth, where there she is lying, legs akimbo, giving birth to her own head. And Madonna very famously has let it be known that this is her all-time favourite painting. She takes it wherever she goes. Anybody who doesn't like that painting is no friend of hers. It's become a kind of judge of friendship.
We'd love to show it to you, but it may just put you off your dinner. As well as being a great talking point, Madonna's passion is an even better investment.
In the art world, if you're really clever, like Madonna, you can make it worth more just because it's you that's commissioned it or you that's bought it.
If you think that Madonna's famous My Birth Frida Kahlo painting was worth about £500,000  10 years ago, now it's well over £3 million.
It's not just that she's buying it because she's got the money, she's got an absolute eye for what's going to be big, and I think in the future she'll probably end up having her own gallery.
Madonna's a successful singer, businesswoman, songwriter and art dealer. She's a winner at everything. Well, nearly.
Shanghai Surprise, never mention that film in the house. Dick Tracy, never mention that film in the house. Seriously.
She should have given it up a long time ago. I mean, Shanghai Surprise is an absolute turkey.
A reputation of box office failures has meant that Madonna has struggled to bag the starring role that she so desperately seeks.
I think Madonna's invested a lot of her fortune in her own movies and projects because a lot of the time people don't want to invest in her, especially in films, because they know they're not going to make any money back. It's such a huge gamble.
She herself is virtually untouchable now in the box office because she's had so many failures. The irony is of Madonna's career that she's always wanted to be known as an actress, but she's best known as a singer.
To try and get some acting cred, she took to the West End stage, starring at the Wyndham Theatre in Up for Grabs.
When you get someone who's that famous in a relatively small space, the audience can't really quite believe it. During the play, whenever she spoke, there'd be rapturous applause, and it was almost as though the audience were congratulating themselves for being so close to Madonna.
People were willing to come and see Madonna, however good or bad she was, because it was Madonna on stage and because you're this close to her.
But to prevent the fans getting too close, Madonna had to dig deep into her own pocket, paying to have the stage raised by 3 feet.
It actually cost her money to be in that play in the end because she got a very small sum because you don't get paid much on stage. And she actually employed 2 bodyguards to sort of guard her on the stage just in case the audience got a bit sort of frenzied and rushed the stage.
And who can blame her after this opening night reception? Maybe it was time for Madge to have another crack at the movies, especially now with Britain's hottest film director on her side. Guy's first film, Lock, Stock, has made £55 million worldwide, and Snatch a further £76 million. So they were both riding high when they joined forces on the film Swept Away. Shot on location in Sardinia, surely nothing could go wrong, could it?
Her film was ditched after just 2 weeks in America and went straight to video.
Bad film. The film bombed at the box office, taking a pitiful £377,000. Could this mean Madge's acting career is all washed up? To live the lifestyle of Madonna and Guy, you need to be sitting on a small gold mine and in the constant eye of the press. But there is a cost to this life we don't see, and it's not cheap.
Being rich is expensive. Being famous and rich is even more expensive. You've got to have an accountant, and a very good one. You've got to have a good lawyer. You've got to have a good agent. They all want to be paid, and they all want to be paid a lot of money.
It's one thing to hear that Madonna made a $60 million record deal, but you've got to understand that out of that $60 million, she has all her overhead. 10% of that goes to the agent, 10% of that goes to the manager, and a percentage of that goes to the lawyers, and 40% of that goes to the tax man.
As well as lawyers and accountants, Madge and Guy have a whole team following their every move.
People like Madonna and Guy Ritchie need to have bodyguards. You can't really get away without them.
She has the most enormous entourage. Both children have nannies. She'll have a PA. She also had butlers and housekeepers.
Travel can be very expensive when you're a celebrity with a huge entourage of nannies and babysitters and business associates and assistants and chefs and all that kind of entourage. It gets to be very, very pricey.
So the cost of actually keeping Madonna going amounts to many, many millions.
The Ritchies spend most of their fortune on property. After they forked out £9 million on their country retreat, the couple fancied a pad in town. So they rented in Notting Hill for £15,000 per week, while they shopped around for a place to buy. First up was a £5 million house in the most exclusive street in Chelsea, but it just wasn't right. They decided to sell it without ever moving in.
You find a house, walk in and go, this is fantastic, make an offer, fall in love with it for 2 weeks, and that's all you can think about is buying that house for 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden, you just go off it.
Then they found a Georgian townhouse in central London, priced at £5.5 million. This time they did move in, but not until they got it decorated. And at £1 million, that's decorating Madonna style.
Apparently she walked into the Berkeley Hotel, which features a wonderful bar called the Blue Bar, designed by architect David Collins, and decided that she wanted it, so got the whole thing recreated in the comfort of her own home.
In total, Madonna and Guy have spent £15 million on property in the UK. But even this sort of money doesn't get you round one age-old problem.
We've all had trouble with builders in the past, but it seems Madonna was having particular trouble and she just thought they were really lazy.
And they probably use quite exotic language.
She gave an interview where she said, oh, well, you know, they're always having tea breaks, just seem to stand around doing nothing and I'm just paying loads of money.
Because that's what you do when you're posh. You complain that they've been there for too long and they're charging you too much.
She's got to get used to English builders. They say good morning, they have a tea break. They get out the tools, they eye up what they need to do, they have a lunch break. After the lunch break, they start doing a little bit of work, they have another tea break. And Madonna, you know, we're not all like Madonna, work, work, work. We've got to take it easy, it's a big job.
So how did Madonna cope with the notorious British builders?
Oh, come on, guys, this ain't good enough. In 6 weeks, you've hardly done a thing.
We're skilled craftsmen. Rome wasn't built in a day, love.
I've had enough. Right, you good-for-nothing layabouts, get your fat butts back to work, now!
We'll have it done by 6 o'clock, love.
Once they'd sorted out the London gaff, Madonna and Guy felt it was time to splash out on a little place stateside. So they coughed up $6 million for a pad in the luxurious Beverly Hills. We caught up with estate agent to the stars, Valerie Fitzgerald, to find out what it costs to share a Buena Vista with Madge and Guy.
Come inside, let me show you what $5 to $6 million can buy you. Nice big living room, great for entertaining, open to the dining room, beautiful patios. What do you see this little secret inside here? We have the most amazing breakfast room, kitchen, great place for cooking, entertaining. Celebrities like to live up here close to the studios. We have a beautiful pool area. You can relax, take a jacuzzi, and lay out in the sun. Look at this great gym. It's got all the equipment you could possibly need, even a separate door for a trainer. Absolutely perfect. The master suite is fabulous because you've got this incredible view. A double steam shower for him and her. Probably have 10 of your best friends in the shower. Great jacuzzi, beautiful views from here too. This is a master closet. It's a master closet that just wows you. It's got all the built-ins, drawers, all the hanging space you could possibly need. Maybe not enough shoe space, but depends on your shoes.
If you want to live like Madonna and Guy, it'll cost around $6 million. What does the future hold for Madonna and Guy?
The question is her ego going to let her go? Hands up. I'm never going to be an actress.
Well, it seems not, as Madonna's just landed a part in her favourite sitcom, Will and Grace. And Guy is returning to what he does best, a gangster flick, this time set in LA.
They like to work, they like that kind of discipline of working, and that makes them a great couple because they've always got projects on the go.
As for the country life, Madonna seems to have gone off shooting. Well, she could follow Guy's lead and become a proper Londoner.
Come on, darling, get your albums over here. I'll sign them for you, that's what I'll do. Oh yeah, Papa don't preach.
Whatever they do after that, you can be sure they'll fork out bundles of cash. And one thing's for certain, there's plenty more to come from this mega-rich A-list celebrity couple.
Oh yeah. When you live your life at 35,000 feet, the cabin pressure can get to you.
Taking care of you will be my pleasure.
Attitude at Altitude, all new Mile High, up next on Sky One.
Trust me, you'll never look a member of the cabin crew in the eye again.
And how much she loved him, which really showed her soft side. And I said that I would give her a very easy solution to that. I said she could cut it out if she killed me.
In the end, Madonna relented and agreed it should stay. Like the rest of the film, at that point, it was the truth.
I think.
Featuring the very best contemporary artists. The BBC Radio 3.
Loved individuals here from Cold Rose.
The wreckage of the two helicopters was located 5 miles from the aircraft carrier. It's believed one was coming into land as the other was taking off. Neil Cavell, HTV News.
Muslims around the West are uniting in prayer to bring about a swift end.
Move it, Eddie. Get out of my way.
Buggy win.
Oh, son of a...